Welcome students to class 12 English classes conducted by your English teacher Monica Kaur. Before I initiate Flamingo's poem number 3, Keeping Quiet, I would like to request you to please like, share and subscribe my channel. Part 2. The poet is Pablo Neruda.
Welcome back students to class 12 English class, and that is part 2 of Flamingo's poem number 3, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Okay, now in this poem today we are going to have the paraphrasing of stanza number 3 from "If what I want should not be confused" up to "of threatening ourselves with death." Okay, in this poem, only poet wanted us to take a few minutes for introspecting our actions and then realize it whether that actions are really giving us a happier moment or not. That those opportunities, those developments, those luxurious life is really a real happier life for us or not. And then he is requesting us only that we must not think about ourselves, we must think about the society, we must think about the world, and more about we must think about the nature. Before our death would be a silence, it would be a sad death, it would be a lonely death. We must introspect our that actions so that our death would not be so threatening, our death would not be so that bad, and our death would not been what it would not been what without any purpose. He only wanted in this stanza with this message. Okay, now let's start with that. What here started with the first line of the stanza number 3. Now it is, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Here guys, inactivity is taken as a symbol of idleness. He really does not want you to stop your work, sit home idly and then think about your actions. No, he really does not want this to do you. What he wanted from you to that only take up few of the minutes from your rush away time, from your running time, from your that time which is totally been occupied by your mind to earn more than the others. From that mind you must take 2 to 3 minutes for yourself to introspect your actions, because life is not at all a still process. Life is a ongoing process. It would not stop according to our orders. If we say stop, so it would stop. No, life, you could not confine the process of the life. The process of the life is really ongoing. It never stills up. And if we people are not at all introspecting our actions, so then our death would be a very silent death. And for that he has used truck with death. Here truck with death means what? Death like silence. What he wanted, that he is not advocating that you sit idle without doing any work and you die like that only. What he wanted, that you must get up, analyze your action and stop doing those actions which are really destructful actions for the society and for the other people or for the nature. Okay, now in the next line, if we were not so single minded, if we are not at all working for others, if we are only working for ourselves, if we are thinking about ourselves only, like what about ourselves, that okay, I wanted this thing, I wanted the best thing from the other, I wanted this thing more than the other. If we are only thinking about our development, if we are thinking about only our progress, if we are thinking about ourselves only, and we forget that surrounding us there are many people which are related to us, which are living or non living somewhere else, direct or indirectly related to us. if we forget that somewhere else, for progressing ourselves, for developing ourselves, we are hurting them, then about keeping our lives moving, and without a second thought of the other people, or for the other nature, or for our own nature, or for our loved ones, we are not thinking about before hurting them then, and for once could do nothing. Just what he requesting, that rather than so selfish behavior, we must stop this selfish behavior, and for once, only for once, let there would be an introspection of our actions. Now, huge silence here, single minded is used as what, as a symbol, which means self progress mentality, that's it. And sadness here means what, isolation, means that is totally lonely, totally sad. Now what he wanted, that lets the silence of introspection tells us that whether we are wrong or we are right in our actions, might be that introspection would help ourselves to be out of that silence death, to be out of that isolated and sad death. And might be we people will going to understand that what is the real happiness for us. And might be we people would be away from the emotions like overpowering others or dominating other people, and means might be that introspection would help us to create what, harmony and brotherhood, rather than a large and mass destruction of the world or of the society. He only wanted us, what might be that introspection would help us, perhaps would help us to see around us that whether what we have achieved, that is our real achievement, what we have achieved, that real achievement is giving us a real happiness or not, means there we can see through it that what is the purpose of our life on the earth. And through introspection only we will help ourselves, our soul, to analyze our actions, whether it was correct or whether it was wrong. So guys, let's move on to the next fourth stanza of it soonly. Let's start, students, with the stanza number 4. The paraphrasing of the stanza number 4. The stanza starts with, perhaps the earth can teach us, up to you, keep quiet and I will go. This is the last stanza of this poem. Beautiful poem written by Pablo Neruda. Okay, now let's start with this, that perhaps the earth can teach us. Here, guys, earth is being taken as the symbol of calmness, or as a symbol of living creature. Now, this is the symbol of living creature and calmness, who could be the best teacher or instructor to the human beings. Now, Pablo is requesting us that every human being has their teacher who teaches them to live on this earth. When you people were kids, so your parents teach you the mannerism, how to walk, how to talk, okay, like this. And when you grow up, when you start going to the school, your teachers become your preachers, okay. But the living things like nature, trees, plants, and even the non-living things, even the many creatures could be our what? Could be our teachers, our best teachers. Okay, now let's going back to this. Earth is being symbolized here as the calmness. Earth is really a very patience-full symbol of our life, because it tells us that how many problems it would be, whether it would be a natural disaster or whether it would be a man-made disaster. Earth never complains, and it goes and its life moves on smoothly like that only. Okay, so it is a living creature also. Now, poet is telling us that we think that earth is non-living thing, but it is not at all non-living thing. Here Pablo has taken it as a living creature. Okay, And so, as when everything seems dead, here dead means what, guys? Idleness, not performing any actions. Now, when we thought that Earth is doing nothing else only except revolving around the orbit, that is wrong. Pablo is telling us what? That we must take the teachings from the nature, and that nature is in form of Earth. As the earth undergoes a lot of changes, it is not at all in the period of idleness, never been. Okay, as the earth undergoes changes in winter, where everything freezes, become lifeless, but after some time, when the season changes again, everything comes back to its life. But then also, when everything was still earth was patientful and slowly doing that her work. Okay, now what he wanted and later proves to be alive. And what, because of that, even in that stillness, when it is waiting for the changing of the seasons, and when it starts work according to the season, it shows us what, that earth is a what, living creature. It used to go on with the life cycle of it, of herself own. Okay, so the point here comes up with this point, that like earth, we have to go on with our actions, without complaining, without destructing anyone, only doing our part of the actions. Similarly, what he wanted, that when the earth took pause in winter and waited for the other seasons to come up, like that we have to take a pause, and we have to introspect ourselves with our lives, and be ready with the change of it. Okay, we will be able to understand the purpose of our life. It will be like a rebirth of the soul when we are introspecting our actions. The poet has conveyed us what, that the poet has conveyed us in this, that the that whole of the people will know their purpose, will know it, that why they are on the earth, by just counting 12 and taking a time out from their rush hours. Then he says, okay, then he has to go from that, after giving a message to the readers. And but he told the readers to what, give pause, and then start that exploring the another word that could be really adventurous for us, that could be really a good for the other people, and for the nature also. The poet wanted that let's be open for all the people. The earth could be the great creature as well as the what, experience, that experience teacher for all of us. And he said goodbye to us by keeping us with ourselves. Because here, what, now the earth, what the poet is trying to tell us, that earth teaches us, like every life has its ups and downs, but then also we have to be patient, as well as we have to keep our life going on and wait for the best season to come in our life, rather than hurting someone else. Okay, so here the earth teaches us that how new life springs from dead remains, and how there is life under apparent stillness. Okay, so the poet is now requesting us only to, we can achieve that soul bringing that nature to whole of the world only when we are counting 12, or we are introspecting and retrospecting our actions. So guys, this was for today's that poem. I hope that you people have understood whole of the poem. Please, before I leave, I only wanted you to please do whole of the things in your life that I have told in this video. Before I leave, let's go on with the poetic devices. Okay, here in this we have what, that is personification, where perhaps the earth, because here the earth is being used as a living creature. Earth is used as a living creature. We are now comparing the earth's characteristics with the living creature, that is human beings characteristics. So that's why here the personification is there. Okay, so guys, after this, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. And guys, what you have to do, yes, ring the bell icon to get the further notifications. I will be back soon with the next video. By that time, take good care of yourself. See you.
Assignment 2. These are the 3 questions from the explained paragraph. Please do it in your fair copy.